Yes.
Besides obsession, what's the biggest pitfall to your process?
The biggest pitfall to my process is to not complete, to not get through. That's what this has all been about. If I start something and I don't finish it, it's literal musical constipation. It's literally like bad for your spirit. It's like yeah, you got to it's literally like holding in pee all day and then your bladder bursting. Yeah. That's how I see it. That's why it's so important for me to get ideas out. And for me, it's ongoing. It's never stopping. It's like, I'm going to come back to this. So if somebody calls me, interrupts me, I can't get to it. And that usually doesn't, I don't let people interrupt me on that. But that's why I learned to work fast. If somebody calls me and I was like, all right, I've been working on this for an hour. I'll be done in 2 more hours. I know my process, so that gives me room to kind of work on stuff and work around it. But I remember I asked this kid in high school, he was a straight A student. I said, what happens if you don't do your work? And he says, it's not even an option. I said, so you don't, he's just like, not an option. I will never not do my work. And that's not necessarily, I will never not finish a song, but everything's connected. So say I start a song and for some reason I fell asleep and I hit the delete button and I woke up and I was just like, garbage can, oh my gosh. The song's probably still in my head. It's like your DNA, your footprint. What you're doing is when you're writing a song is you're continuing an eternal song in your heart. It's something you can't actually ever forget. You just always work on being able to have deeper and better access to yourselves. Years ago, one of my uncles said to me, when you get older, sometimes you forget these things that ever happened. It comes up to you and they can be really great. And sometimes it's really bad and you forget stuff and you remember stuff. It's like, I forgot that ever happened. Wish I never remembered that. But it's, as you get older, you learn the power and your own presence and the ability to the deeper I can dig, the further I can go into the archives, the more I just have to work with. It's like a savings account. You got to build up your musical savings account. The less you have to work with, the more you have to rely on other people. Build up your savings account, build your own artistic economy. And a lot of the questions we ask, we have the answers ourselves. I didn't get a chance to print it up, but I have this thing that I wanted to share with everybody. I don't know how I could get this, or is this like on the website I could give it to you, and then you could share it with them. But here's the thing I want you guys to walk away with. It's a it's a questionnaire sort of thing. It's a series of questions you can ask yourself that give you the answer. For instance, if you ask yourself these questions, you'll have the answers. And this has really helped you a lot, do I constantly hear music in my head? Should I constantly hear music in my head? If I do hear music internally, is it someone else's song, or do I recognize it as original and uniquely mine? How long does it take me to complete a song from beginning to end? How long does it take me to create a basic skeleton of a song, and how long does it take to expand upon it? How do my results change depending on the instrument I write from? What happens when I write from my main instrument? What happens when I write inside a DAW and begin with a beat? How many songs can I write in a row before I begin repeating myself? How many songs can I write before the quality noticeably declines? What is my favorite interval? What is my favorite chord? How many songs do I realistically need to write before creating a truly great one? What is my favorite scalar mode? What is my favorite chord progression? So on and so on. If you can answer these questions, which I've all written down here, and you can look up or download for free for your own learning abilities, if you can answer and write a check on all those, you'll be a complete musician, a complete original musician. There's different types. Do you want to be a working musician who reads music and does other people's music, playing orchestra? Do you want to be an artist on stage with your name on the marquee? It just depends on your path. The path I've laid before you is more of that of an artist as opposed to a working studio musician or a background singer. This is about you taking the bull by the horns and owning and doing everything and just